what you're seeing with Trump, regardless of his flaws, what you're seeing with Trump, regardless of flaws, is a massive, concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Joe Rogan blowing it. He's falling for this propaganda, falling for this narrative pushed by the conservative media. I'm playing a clip from the Kyle Kulinski show to give some context, as well as giving my commentary. Let's get into it.
Stop. So we got some more Joe Rogan silliness here, and it has gone beyond humiliating at this point with how much he has bent the knee to MAGA and genuflected at the altar of Trump and Trumpism. So let's start with this clip here. Look at what Rogan has planned for the podcast coming up, I guess relatively soon. Watch.
Are we doing Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, we have to.
Hey, we have to.
We have to. We helped Trump get elected.
Yo, I got a special January 14th. Are we doing...
Let's do Blow
Can we
It
get
Don
it together?
Jr.
When do you finish shooting?
Well, maybe we do that at Mar-a-Lago.
Ooh, what?
No, we have to wait until he gets in.
On?
We have to wait until he gets
Trump's
in.
obviously going to walk on, dude.
Yeah.
If there's a camera, then bro.
100%. He's going to walk on if we do
Let's
Mar-a-Lago.
do it and play the day after. The day after, or right then.
We talked about it on the podcast, and Don Jr. reached out to me, said I could make that happen.
I posted a
shit.
support of Tony Hinchcliffe, and Don Jr. was like, "I love it."
Whoa.
Yeah.
John Jr. recognized us. We're little schoolgirls. This is so pathetic.
Oh.
We can make it happen.
So in other words, Rogan is taking his podcast to Mar-a-Lago. Let me ask you guys a question. If there was a comedian who decided, I'm going to snuggle up to Joe Biden, or I'm going to snuggle up to Kamala Harris, I'm going to get buddy-buddy with them and go to events with them and go to their fucking giant vacation home / White House of the South, how would these guys talk about it? What would they say? My guess is they would say, you're barely a comedian at all anymore, and you're a total partisan hack, and you're just snuggling up to power, and it's embarrassing, and this is not what comedy's supposed to be about. But when when Joe and his buddies go to Mar-a-Lago, it's Don Jr. liked my tweet. Oh, this is so pathetic. This is a guy who went from supporting Bernie Sanders to this.
If it wasn't clear before, it's clear as day now. He's best friends. They're like getting giddy. It's like, oh, hey, now we're best friends with the president. Oh, my goodness. Now we can... And Joe Rogan, he has this platform to where now he can even spew the lies. He can spew this same propaganda that's pushing that, oh, yeah, you guys, the dominant culture, these white Christian males, you guys are the victims. You guys are the ones that's being oppressed. Yeah, we can get saved from this. We can get saved from whatever's happening. And this rhetoric can continue to get pushed over and over again, and it's like streamlined straight into the veins now of these guys, of the dominant culture. They have their unsung hero, Joe Rogan, who is best friends. Well, you could see it. They're like all excited. They're like, oh, hey, this is talking about going to a sleepover, it seems like. Let's see what else Kyle Kulinski has to say as far as Joe Rogan's downfall.
Look, we've given Bill Maher tons of shit because he went from Bernie in 2016 to Amy Klobuchar in 2020. Well, guess what? This is 10 times worse than that. From Bernie all the way to Trump, somebody who represents the exact opposite ideology from everything you claim to believe in. So look, I think it's undeniable at this point. When you look at Rogan, I'm sorry, but he's much more like Rush Limbaugh than he is like George Carlin. George Carlin tried to speak truth to power. George Carlin has that famous clip when he went on CNN and he talks about how, yeah, Andrew Dice Clay, okay, yeah, he's a comedian. He can say whatever he wants to say, but also let's call a spade here. He likes to punch down. I like to punch up. I like to go after the wealthy and the powerful and the people who control the country. That's what I do. So he's really not my cup of tea, right? And so here's Joe snuggling up to Trump, much more like Rush Limbaugh than like George Carlin. You're not an outsider telling the truth. You are directly in the halls of power among the people who make decisions that affect the entire country. And by the way, every time across the board, they're bad decisions. Congrats. You're with the guy who cuts taxes for the wealthy and corporations and deregulates and gets rid of environmental protections. Congratulations. I'm sure Joe's happy about that tax cut he's going to get, though. I'm sure he's happy about that. You're with a guy who had a horrifically pro-war first term, as you and all your friends pretend like he's anti-war. All right, I'm not done. Here we go. I got more for you. This is where Rogan's got a big brain thought, bro, about how everything you've ever heard about Trump is a psyop, bro. It's a psyop, bro. Here we go.
What you're seeing with Trump, regardless of his flaws, what you're seeing with Trump, regardless of flaws, is a massive, concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is.
They distorted who he is. Did you distort who he is when you had him on the podcast and gave him a fucking hot stone massage in front of the country? Was that you distorting who he is?
You guys, let me know what Trump is to you. Who is he? Who is that? Who is Trump to you guys? To me, he's a business guy. You know, he already had an outstanding foundation, and then now he thinks that he really does. He has psyched himself up to believe in this American dream. That yes, you can get through straight brawn, through the whatever is the art of the deal type of crap. What he's doing with the tariffs, he thinks that that's going to actually do something. And the worst part is that people believe him. People believe that something is going to happen because of these tariffs. The whole point is that, oh, you want to do tariffs so that these other corporations can build in America? You know how much it costs to start building another factory or whatever it is in America? It's going to take way more than 4 years, and best believe with the amount of people that they can pay for in these other countries, they're going to continue to do it. The tariffs do nothing, and granted, let's just break it down. A tariff is a tax. The whole conservative movement doesn't care about taxes. So why, they don't want taxes. So why do nothing but contradictions.
When he said to you that I never said lock her up about Hillary. The crowd would say it and I'd go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Was that you distorting who he is by not pushing back on that obvious bullshit? Is that what that was? No, when you sit there and play patty cakes with the man, somehow you're giving people the truth more so than the media that's critical. And look, to be fair, of course the media has been wrong plenty of times. But the fact of the matter is, at this late date, mainstream media is 20 times more solid than Joe Rogan is. You get more information and facts from even the worst mainstream media outlets than you do from Rogan when he plays patty cakes with Trump and J.D. Vance. He just had a...
There we have it, you guys. And seriously, let me know what has gotten into Joe Rogan. I mean, are we all blind? Nobody's talking about it. What the hell has happened to him? He's lost his freaking mind, supporting Elon, supporting Donald Trump. What has happened? To me, I really do believe that it's something along the lines of, oh, that somebody tapped into his victimhood and made him feel like, oh, look, people are trying to take these positions. People are trying to bring the white guy down. People want to, crap on him. The universities are teaching all this stuff to not care about, and then he's going to completely turn his back on everything that he believed in because they were able to leverage that little bit of victimhood to where now, we have to maintain our dominance, or there's no such thing. We're not even dominant. He wants to deny that, I bet too. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.